Good morning from the beautiful city of Kraków. It is my final day here in Poland, my final day here in Kraków, and I've got to say, people say that it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world and in Europe in general. And it is for a reason. I mean, look at it, look at beautiful Kraków. This is the beautiful Wawel Royal Castle for you guys, look at it. Look at the stunning church, look at the complex. Now, believe it or not guys, but this castle and this complex was one of the very first in the world to be granted the status of UNESCO World Heritage Site back in 1978. And yes, the city, Kraków, is a bit touristy, much more touristy than Warsaw, I've got to say. Also a bit more expensive than Warsaw, I've got to say, but it is for a reason. I've got to admit that when I came here a few days ago, I didn't have many expectations, but it is true what they say. It is definitely one of the prettiest cities I've ever seen in the whole world. As the city is a bit touristy though, you can imagine that I didn't have a lot of content to bring you guys here because I don't want to show you guys the touristy things. Because first of all, I don't want to spoil you, because I want you to come here. You should really come here. It's a beautiful place, a beautiful city, and you wouldn't regret coming here and seeing it with your own eyes. I don't want to show you touristy things which you can do yourself and see with your own eyes. And second, you can look these things up on the internet. I don't want to bore you, so I don't want to bring you touristic content. But there is one thing though. It is my last day in Poland. I'm leaving this evening, and yeah, as it's my last day, I figured there is one thing which we haven't done together yet here in Poland, which is some traditional Polish food. Trying out some traditional Polish cuisine. And in fact, I've had a lot of Polish cuisine, a lot of Polish dishes in the last few days. And there is one that I like the most. And this one I want to show you guys, because I found a pretty cheap place yesterday, a pretty local place. And we're gonna head there together and I'll show you my favorite Polish meal. Join me. Another thing guys, when you travel, you should always try out the local cuisine. I mean, you have to. It's a must. When you go to another country, you have to eat the local foods. But when you do so, always make sure to not try it out in the most touristic area. I've already told you that in other videos, but it's the same here in Kraków. It's the same wherever you go. You have to go to the less touristy areas and always look at the people that are inside the place. Are there many people inside? And if so, are they locals? The place that we are about to visit to have my favorite Polish food actually was full yesterday when I arrived there, when I discovered it, and it was full of locals. I was the only foreigner in there. So always make sure that these conditions are met. The less touristy and the more local the place where you'll have your food, the better the quality of your food and the cheaper your food will be. Also, I have to apologize to my Polish audience who watched my first video back in Warsaw when we went to Praga. I said back then that the Poles were up there with the worst English speakers I've ever come across. And yes, that is the case back in Warsaw. But down here in Kraków, the people, most of them speak good English. Actually, yeah, the general level of English is quite decent, I have to say. So, in that regards, sorry Poles when I said that you were the worst English speakers. Might be true for Warsaw, it's not the case here down in Kraków. I know I didn't want to spoil you with touristic stuff because I want you all to visit Kraków to see it for yourself, but flippin', look at that. Look how flippin' beautiful and impressive Kraków is. Kraków, to be honest with you, might actually be the Christian Istanbul when it comes to impressive churches and impressive buildings. It's amazing. Look at it. I'm standing in the former central square of the Jewish Kraków ghetto, as was known back in Nazi times. This is where the Jewish population of Kraków gathered. And it is also where, from 1942, all of them were deported to the nearby camps to fulfill Hitler's final solution. Today, all of the victims, which are in their 60,000s, are commemorated here by these empty seats. And right across the street from here is the place I discovered yesterday, where we're going to indulge in to my favourite Polish meal on my last day here in Poland. Check it out! Alright guys, I've ordered myself my food in this really traditional Polish restaurant here. Look at it, look at the inside of it. It's really cozy inside here. And the first portion of my order has already arrived, the soup, look at it. I've ordered myself a soup and dumplings, my favourite Polish meal, called pierogi actually. Pierogi are like dumplings filled with either meat or cheese or spinach. I've tried the meat and the cheese version, and today I went for the spinach version. And this soup, which comes also with a free juice, a free fruit juice, and the pierogi came to a whopping total of 31 Polish zlotys, which is about $7.50, like €6, which is alright if you ask me. I mean, 2 meals, 2 dishes, and a free fruit juice. Whereas in Europe, in the European Union, do you get this, or in the West? So yeah. I'll tug into my soup now, whilst I'll be waiting for the rest of my order to arrive. Super delicious. I think it's a broccoli soup. Let's give that juice a taste. Very good. It's like a dried fruit juice, they've told me. Traditionally Polish. So guys, let me show you my favourite Polish meal. Pierogi. Delicious pierogi. They look a bit like tortellini, and it is actually a bit like tortellini. It's like dumplings, and they're delicious. Love it. So, here's my meal. Dumplings, 10 of them, including the sauce, for $5, free juice, and the soup, which I guess is like broccoli soup, and that one was about $2.50. So yeah, it's alright. Let's give these dumplings a try. As you can see, they are filled with spinach. I went for the spinach ones this time. So yeah, let's check it out. So delicious. Those are the best ones I've had so far. They even got like a buttery taste, like. There's surely some buttercream in there as well. Look at it. Super, super tasty. Super tasty. Wow. When you come to Poland, have some pierogi. Top notch. I love it. I'm gonna miss these when I leave Poland tonight. Alright guys, that was my first attempt at a food vlog. As you can see, I'm not really a good food vlogger. Not specialised in that. But yeah, anyway guys, if you come to Kraków, make sure to visit this place. Jadodania Wrzoroidzis. Anyway, just remember it, write it down. It's just across, it's easy to find, it's just across the Ghetto Square with the chairs. You're easily going to find it. Check this place out. Best pierogis in town. Been to Poland now for 5 days. I've had pierogis like surely 4 times at least, and those are the best ones. Poland actually has a very vast cuisine. They've got lots of national dishes here, and I've tried many of them, but this one is, for me, the most authentic one, because you wouldn't find that in another country, and I love it. I love those dumplings. So yes, that's it for my time here in Poland. It wasn't the best start, as you know. First meal I had, I got food poisoning from some bad chicken. Since then I was a bit skeptic in regards to meat here, but it turned out alright. I was vomiting for a day, and after that I was fine again. Anyway, what are my thoughts on Poland? Is it worth visiting? Absolutely. I mean, I've been here 5 days now. I enjoyed, apart from the food poisoning on the first day, I enjoyed every second of it. And yeah, Poland is a country which has it all. I mean, lots of history, decent foods, quality foods, delicious foods, friendly people. It's cheap. I mean, it's not as cheap as Albania maybe, or other places I visited like Colombia or Mexico. It's still a European country, an EU nation, but it's cheaper than Western Europe, and cheaper than the US of course, and beautiful women. So Poland ticks all the boxes, and I especially recommend Kraków to you guys. So that's it from my Polish adventures. I'll see you in the next country. Bye. Have a good one. This, by the way, guys, is my favorite Polish beer. It's delicious, I can tell you that, especially when it's cold. So, cheers to Poland, cheers to Kraków, and cheers to you guys. I'll see you in the next one very soon.